Please join me in prayer. As together we know, experience, feel, and celebrate the presence of Spirit in this place. The glory of this late winter, early spring day, and how Spirit shows up as each one here. But that's who we are in our deepest self. Expressions of the one Spirit, the one creative power that expresses through and as all of its creation. So we celebrate our oneness with that this morning as we come together to share ideas and open our hearts to greater inspiration, greater love, a greater sense of peace, and a greater sense of connection with Spirit and with all of life. I give thanks for Reverend Diana's message this morning, knowing that it does inspire us and empower us into a more love-filled life as we explore how to answer love's call and love's calling. So knowing that our time together unfolds perfectly, powerfully, joyfully, lovingly, I just say thank you, Spirit. Thank you each one for coming. And I release my prayer knowing it is already so, as together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Chris, for that beautiful opening. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. If you're new with us here this morning, in the room or online, my name is Reverend Diana Johnson, and I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. So we begin our Taizé journey this morning in musical prayer.
Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. We are one in this life.
Let love be the guide. The power of love is within me and within each one of us. Right here, right now, in this moment, in every moment. Forever working for the good of all beings, bringing forth a sense of rebirth in this beautiful season, bringing forth renewal. And so we settle into the stillness of this moment. Acknowledging the love within us and the vast potential that that love holds. Bringing our awareness to the heart center. Feeling that love expand within our hearts, stretching us, flowing out from the heart into the body. Making its way out through us into the room, into the world. We are surrounded by and held in an atmosphere of divine love. Love is our inherent nature, the truth of who we are, the truth of all creation, no matter the appearances in the world. Love unites us, is an invisible force for good, a force of connection. All of life created in love. Every human being, without exception, every other than human creature, everything we see in any direction we look, plants, rocks, mountains, soil and water, expressions of Spirit's inexhaustible love. Envision with me now the light that shines in, through, and from all of it. The light that connects us. And now extend your vision out into the cosmos. The heavenly bodies, stars, sun, moon, planets, and all that lies beyond, all that we will never know. All spirit, all connected. Take a moment to just let that soak in. Feel that deep sense of connection with all that is. As a human expression, I am that love. Love's creative potential is forever alive in me. What an amazing gift. In humility and gratitude, I acknowledge and give thanks for this amazing experience. Living a human life on this beautiful planet at this time in our history. I give thanks for my connection with all that is, and for my awareness that this is so. My consciously chosen response in this lifetime is to give love in kind. Love flows to me, in me, as me, through me. And so I offer the love that I am in every possible direction. I think, speak, and act from love, knowing that by every thought, intention, word, and deed, I am aiding in the rebirth that is happening in our world, as are each one of us. My artistic expression of love leaves the world a more beautiful place. It honors the Creator as it does the creation. This month, our contemplations are centered in the way of love. And this morning we'll be reflecting on love's call and love's calling. I believe each of us to be a perfect and intentional expression of the divine, created on purpose. Not one of us is an accident of nature. Nature doesn't have accidents. God does not make mistakes. As sacred beings, each of us has buried within us, as part of our nature, a divine urge. Something that calls us to know the truth of who and whose we are. Calls us to become a better version of ourselves today than we were yesterday. Calls us to recognize and accept ourselves as peace, power, joy, and beauty taken form. This is love's call. We are led by the great mystery to know that we are created in God's image and likeness. Breathe that in deeply. Created in the image and likeness of the Creator. What an empowering thing to know. I believe each one of us is not only here on purpose, but here with a purpose. There is some gift or set of gifts that we are meant to share with the world. Some part that only we can play. This is love's calling. Again, made in God's image and likeness, each of us is given choice. Free to look for what is ours to do, or not. Free to say yes to love's calling, or to say no. And each response leads us down a different path of experience. The call of God, the love that bids us welcome, is always a call to become the true you. Not an imitation of someone else. There is a Jewish proverb, before every person there marches an angel proclaiming, "Behold, the image of God." Love's call nudges us consistently toward knowing ourselves for who we are. And love's calling moves toward the awareness that we are not here for ourselves alone. We are here to serve. The Christian scriptures challenge us to love your neighbors as you love yourself. Love your neighbor as someone made in the image and likeness of the Creator. And relate to yourself as one made in the image and likeness of the Creator. Loving the self is a required balance. If we fail in that, we fail our neighbor. This in no way implies that we always put others first. Neither does it imply that we always put ourselves first. Rather, love calls us to see self and other as one, and in every circumstance to ask, what is mine to do? What would love do now? Bishop Michael Curry reminds us that unselfish, sacrificial living is not about ignoring or denying or destroying yourself. It's about discovering your true self, the self that looks like God, and living life from that grounding.
At the human level, love's call is a beckoning, an alluring invitation to open our heart, to share ourselves completely with another. It sparks a flood of feelings within us: affection, joy, desire, and perhaps fear. This rush of emotion may seem overwhelming. We may feel we are being swept away, and in a way, we are. Human love is but a faint echo of the call of divine love, a limited expression of spiritual love. God calls us to open our heart, not just to one, but to all, to share our authentic self with everyone at all times, to be vulnerable, humble, and to surrender our preferences in service to the greater good. Khalil Gibran's prophet said, "For even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so is he for your pruning. Even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. Like sheaves of corn, he gathers you unto himself. He threshes you to make you naked. He sifts you to free you from your husks. He grinds you to whiteness. He kneads you until you are pliant. And then he assigns you to his sacred fire, that you may become sacred bread for God's sacred feast. Divine love's calling demands more from us. It requires us to stretch, to grow, to evolve. It transforms us into our authentic self, who we are created to be. In our 3 minutes of shared sacred silence this morning, I invite us to begin by centering ourselves in humble self-love. Then, let us contemplate any barriers to love we may still have within us, any fears, resistance, worthiness issues, resentments, and place them all on God's altar to be consumed in the sacred flame. Loving Spirit, thank you for giving us the ability to give and receive your love. Thank you for the love that fills this place and that fills the hearts of each blessed soul in our beloved community. May we always remember that we are created from love. May we never forget that love is what we came here for. It has been said that God, love, doesn't call the qualified, but rather, when we answer divine love's calling, Spirit brings forth within us all the qualities we need. We are transformed from the inside out. As we share that love with others, they too are changed, and more love finds its way into the world. With wide open, loving hearts, we return our attention to Reverend Diana's Taizé message of love and inspiration, knowing that it empowers us to hear love's call, and then to respond by fulfilling love's calling.
The ability to love yourself is intimately related to your capacity to love others. Why is this so? Maybe loving others saves us from confusion, frustration, and ultimately the neurosis that comes when we try to center the world around ourselves. Or perhaps it allows us to step outside the self so that we might see ourselves with some distance for a better perspective on what we could make better. Or maybe when loving ourselves is hard, practicing loving others strengthens the muscle enough to turn the force inward. What I do know is that the two are related. The challenge is creating a life that allows you to fulfill both needs, to serve self and serve other in balanced measure. And in both, you are serving life. You are serving God. Sharing pure, unconditional, godly love liberates the true self so that we can more fully live and discover the place where, according to Frederick Buechner, that place where your deep gladness and the world's hunger meet. A beautiful affirmation to move us into prayer. I live from pure, unconditional, godly love, liberating myself to discover where my deep gladness and the world's hunger meet. Let's close in prayer. I settle myself once again in the loving presence of Spirit. I sense and know my oneness with that presence. I am love embodied. Love is my inherent nature. It is who and what I am. And it is why I'm here. My thoughts, words, and actions reflect and express only love. In every moment, I am called to love's gentle prompting. Running in the background of my awareness is the question, what would love do now?
just before you see something you can't take away. Take a breath, then let it out. Try to think about what would love do now. Wondering if you should cross that line for good. Whatever you decide, ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love we try for love. In the end, that's all we know. That's real. Whether right or wrong, doesn't matter just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? Everything is either an act of love or a cry for love. That's why for love, in the end, that's all we know. That's real. Whether right or wrong, doesn't matter just as long as you let your heart decide. Ask yourself from inside, what would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now? What would love do now?
Everything is either an act of love or a call for love. In the end, we know that love is all that's real. And so we move into the week with hearts and minds grounded in the love of Spirit, allowing ourselves to be refreshed and renewed on this first Sunday of the Lenten season, and releasing all that does not serve love in the world. I celebrate and rejoice in the love that fills me to overflowing, always available and freely given. And I release it into the world, serving as a willing conduit for divine love. I'm grateful that as I release this prayer, it is fulfilled. Wholeness is restored. I am at peace. And so it is. Amen. So nice to have you here with us this morning. Feel free to look around, see if anybody crept in. Cheryl did, but then she crept out again. There she is. So as we close our Taizé meditation portion of the gathering, we offer the opportunity for you to share of your financial good with our community, should you choose to do that. If you're joining us online, you can go to mysticheart.org and you'll find our donate button. You'll find a mailing address if you still do those little paper things. And we're an independent, self-supporting organization, and so your financial gifts are what make it possible for us to do our work and provide this beautiful and safe space to gather. So as we engage in the sacred practice of circulation, know with me that love is the answer, even in these challenging times, and it always will be. This will take you back to 1979.
Name your price, a ticket to paradise. I can't stay here anymore, and I've looked high and low. I've been from shore to shore to shore. If there's a shortcut, I'd have found it, but there is no easy way around it. Light up the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer.
I'd forgotten that Dan Seals and Crofts, both this group, were Baha'i, and their music was very spiritual. So we thank you for the gifts as they are given today, gifts of spirit that flow through your hearts and through your hands into this community. We receive them with gratitude and humility. We grow them, and then we share them back out into the community, this community and the greater community. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you to each one. And so it is. So a couple quick notes as we sing you on your way either to the coffee and tea room to grab something warm or on your way to Sunday prior to our conscious conversation, because you don't get the invitations at that happen at the end. A couple of quick notes. We have 2 tickets still for St. Patty's Day dinner and dance, but that's all. So if you're interested, that's happening this coming Friday. Corned beef and cabbage and all the trimmings and stuff, and a DJ and a dance, and it's going to be lights a-flashing in here. Our April will be starting another trip around the wheel on March 22nd, and it will be different than last year because every year is different. So remember to put that on your calendar if that's something you're interested in. Our Spring Fling Luncheon and Easter Basket Raffles happening on April 12th, and there are more details in the bulletin. And then, again, feel free to grab something to drink if you'd like, and join us back at 10:30 for a conscious conversation.
May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony, and may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayers. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayers.
God bless you. Thank you for being here this morning. Dalton Fitzgerald will be here next week for music, in case you're not aware.
Okay, well, we'll pray in, and maybe we'll pray them in as well. There's one now.
There they go.
Oh, thank you, Spirit, for this glorious morning, this beautiful day that you have given us, that you have made all for our delight. Thank you for these beloved souls sharing in this worship service with me, sharing in beloved community, sharing the love that we are here to learn more about. So I give thanks for this service this morning, this Sunday gathering, and for this conversation that we're about to have. I know it unfolds with great inspiration and divine wisdom as Spirit expresses its love and its wisdom and its understanding and compassion through each of our hearts. For this I'm truly grateful, and I release my prayer knowing it's already so, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Well, welcome back, y'all. And welcome, Barbara.
Hi.
Great to see you. Not too bad. We have a few folks here even with a time change and a sunny day. So here we are. We're here for each other. So I welcome you back, or welcome in if you're just coming in. And if you're new with us online this morning, my name is Reverend Diana Johnson, and I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're an independent interfaith community, and we teach universal principles and practical spirituality. So we welcome you and trust that you will find something to point you towards your own inner guidance and wisdom. So we're going to start our conversation this morning by joining our voices in song. giving our bodies a chance to wake up. So feel free to join in.
Welcome to your mystic heart. Join the celebration. Lift your voice and sing your part. Make this affirmation. Spirit made us family with loving hearts to share. Together we are joyfully practicing the possible through prayer.
And everything's possible through
So welcome to the mystic heart. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Here comes Jeff.
Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Say hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody we. Hey, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Yay, Jeff's here. Come on in.
Well, there's a reason for the sunshine in the sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when the love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and you'll steal it through the moonlit night with your lover. Let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. And let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. It's the reason. Oh, there's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candlelight. Must be the season when those sunlights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you into space and lay you under its loving embrace, and feel the thunder as it warms your face. You can't hold back. So let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow in the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love find you all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I
in one day we have England Dan and John Ford Coley and Bellamy Brothers. Whew. We're retro today. So let's take a moment to consciously engage body, mind, and spirit as together we envision a love-soaked world. Take a deep breath and feel the presence of love moving through. And then let it go. Back out into the world. Share your love. Feel and know with me a world in which all humans are living from their deepest wisdom, from their most generous and loving nature, thoughtful of the impact that their thoughts and words and actions have on one another, and on the community, and on the planet. Remembering that every thought, word, and action does have an impact, does make an imprint. In this world of our creation, we are living in peace in our homes and our neighborhoods and as a global community. We have outgrown war and
Yes.
violence
Yes.
and all appearances of separation. This is a world where all needs are met gracefully and easily, because we have learned to live according to our generous nature. We have learned where enough is enough, where all beings have plenty of nourishing food, warm, comfortable, and affordable housing, a sense of safety and belonging, a world where mental and physical health, education, and healthy relationships are all supported by social systems grounded in integrity and wholeness. A world in which honesty and transparency rule the day.
Yes.
We are creating a world where each person is valued as the unique individual that they are, where authenticity and vulnerability are welcomed and celebrated. A world where loving relationships are the norm, and each person is free to love as they choose. A world where there are no walls or boundaries to divide us, where all are truly welcome. Sense and know with me a world where the peace we cultivate within ourselves shows up as a world free of hatred or violence. Feel the loving connection to each other and to Mother Earth. Our ways of living support her, and she supports us. We are creating a world where you can step out and smell pure fresh air no matter where you are, where the water and food are safe and healthy, offering nourishment no matter where you live. Throughout this time of deep transformation, this community stands as an open and welcoming place for all who seek support, belonging, and a sense of family. It redefines church as a place of self-discovery, authenticity, kindness, friendship, compassion, and love.
Amen.
As we are guided to the truth that lies within every heart. Stand with me in this imaginal realm, the realm of infinite possibility, where our prayers and visions are taking form. Feel the peace, the joy, and the love that surround us, that fill us to overflowing. We are bringing this world forth with our thoughts and intentions, with our feelings, our words, and our actions right now. I offer gratitude and thanksgiving to the great mystery of the universe, trusting in its creative power and divine process to bring our shared vision to life. In humility, I let it be. I release my word to the one that gets it done. It is done. And so it is. Amen. energetic shift in the room and in the world. It's rippling. So if you were here with us for Taizé this morning, you will know our topic for reflection and conversation this month is the way of love. And this morning's title is Love's Call and Love's Calling. So we opened to these truths. I'm going to give a quick dance through what we did. We opened to these truths. Each of us is a perfect and intentional expression of the divine, without exception. Every one of us created on purpose. As sacred beings, we have buried within us a divine urge, something that calls us out to know the truth of who and whose we are. Stretches us from within, won't let us sit still until we take those steps forward. Something that calls us to become a better version of ourselves today than we were yesterday. It calls us to recognize and accept ourselves as spirit in form. This is love's call. We are led by the great mystery to know that we are created in the image and likeness of the Creator. And that we're not only here on purpose, but we're here with a purpose. Every one of us. Again, no exceptions. This is love's calling. We're free to look for what is ours to do, or not. That urge is going to give you some trouble, just saying, if you say no. But you're free to do it. We're free to say yes to love's calling or to say no. And each response will lead us down a different path of experience. So love's call nudges us consistently toward knowing ourselves for who we are. And love's calling moves us toward the awareness that we are not here for ourselves alone, that we're actually here for each other. We're here to serve. That's our purpose. This in no way implies that we put others first all the time. Neither does it imply that we put ourselves first all the time. Rather, love calls us to find a balance, and in every circumstance to ask a couple of questions. What is mine to do, and what would love do right now? It's a powerful question. If we addressed every bit of decision we make with what would love do right now, we would always know the answer, and we would always do the right thing. It's a good question. The world needs big changes right now in every sector of life. It's making big changes right now in every sector of life. And as self-reflective choice-making beings, it is ours to lead the way in making those changes, shining the light into the darkness. It's ours to do that, whether we like it or not. It's kind of uncomfortable sometimes. We all know in our hearts that the way we are living, the way that the Western world is using resources and treating our planet, is not sustainable. We've known this for 50 or 60 or more years. And yet we like the things we like, don't we? We do. I'm included in that. I like the things I like. Most of us here are pretty comfortable. Some of us in the world are not so comfortable at this time. But when I'm comfortable, don't upset my apple cart. I don't want you to upset my apple cart. Got all my ducks in a row, right? It's natural to want to be comfortable. Nothing wrong with that. That's not the problem. The problem is our attachment to our level of comfort. Our attachment to our preferences and how we let them affect us emotionally when we can't have things the way we want them. If we're not careful, we can take things for granted. We can get used to how things are and even refuse to make simple changes that collectively would make a huge difference on the planet. We know that it was Einstein who said that you can do what you've always done, but don't expect to get different results, because that's the definition of insanity. To do what I've always done and expect different results. That isn't going to work. We actually have to make changes, like real changes, in all kinds of ways. So here we are, myself again included, each of us with our preferences and our reasons for not changing things that need adjustment. We have other reasons beyond discomfort. There are other reasons. We feel like nothing we can do makes any real difference. It's so big, right? The problems are so big. My little one change isn't going to make a difference. We may feel like we don't have anything really to offer in a specific circumstance or another. Or we're afraid of how our lives might change, or how we ourselves might change or be changed as a result of our participation or our adjustments. And certainly our lives will be changed, ideally for the better if we're following divine guidance. And certainly we will be changed. I have been absolutely changed by the involvement with the micro shelter. I am fundamentally a different human being with a different set of lenses from a little bit of involvement that I've had. We want to change. It's the nature of us to change. So to fight change it doesn't serve us.
Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile. But the uncertainty of change can be frightening too, right? Not only discomfort, but fear. I want to let you in on a little secret that Chris alluded to in his meditation, but I'm going to use the phrase that I was taught. God doesn't call the qualified, God qualifies the called. God doesn't wait till you have all your ducks in a row and all the knowledge you'll ever need and all the experience you'll ever need to go and serve in a particular way. God listens, and when you say yes, you are given what you need. It's already within you, but you're able to call it forth. God doesn't call the qualified. God qualifies the called. So what does it take to step out on that limb? Although we might feel unsure of what to do or unqualified to do it. What does it take?
Trust.
Trust.
Courage.
Courage.
Faith.
Faith.
Commitment.
Commitment. Oh man, that word is so hard for so many people right now. I can't believe how many times I hear people say, oh, I don't really like to absolutely commit to anything. Wow.
Yes, and a willingness to change.
And a willingness to change. So trust, willingness. I'll be right over for your other, if we're going to add to our list. Trust, willingness, faith, commitment, courage.
Volunteers.
We need volunteers. Thank you for throwing that out there. Yes.
Confidence.
Confidence. Yes. We need to be confident that every positive thing we do from love makes a difference. Smiling at the grocery clerk and saying thank you and using their name makes a difference.
Determination.
Determination. Yes.
Willingness.
Determination, willingness.
Stick-to-itiveness.
Stick-to-itiveness. Yes, persistence.
The first step.
Taking the first step,
Even though you don't know where you're going.
even though you don't know where your foot's gonna land.
Being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Being comfortable with being uncomfortable, or becoming willing to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because sometimes we're not comfortable with being uncomfortable, but the willingness has to lead us in that direction.
And you have to be willing to be willing.
And you have to be willing to be willing. Yes. You know, that Chris and I have been involved with bringing food to the mission for 3.5 years. This summer's gonna make our 4th growing season that we've been taking food to the mission and saving hundreds and thousands of loaves of bread from the dumpster every week. We have a team now to help with that. And more recently, we've become involved in the Good Water Crossing project. What do you think the benefits of this work to us and to any who are involved in that? What have been the benefits to us? Because we're in service, but I think we get way more from it than anybody else. And I know that the people at Goodwater would disagree with that and say, no, we get way more than anybody else. But I think we get more. What do you think? What benefits do we get?
Being involved, being part of something.
Being part of something bigger than myself. That feels really good. What else?
Being more inclusive,
Being more inclusive
accepting.
and accepting.
Having the feeling that you're making a positive change in the world, and that's not always easy to do.
Right. So feeling like I'm making a positive change in the world.
Seeing results.
Seeing results.
There you
We are absolutely seeing results.
Allowing them to, whoever may be, to share their story, to not be judgmental, let them know they're
Yes.
loved.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because many people go through a lot of things, and
Yeah.
it's not just people outside,
No,
everybody
yeah,
involved. Just
So-
being able to listen to them, hear
yes,
their story, and not be judgmental and love them.
right. Opportunity to love unconditionally, to put down judgment and criticism,
That's
to
right.
let go of old biases and
That's right.
prejudices
Mhm.
and ideas about what I thought I knew about those people over there.
Out in the world, paying back and paying forward.
Paying back and paying forward for all of
Right.
the blessings in our lives.
Mhm.
We are so blessed.
Sharing love.
We get to share love, this love we're
Because
talking
It
about.
all comes back to you.
Yes, it does. And we don't do it to get it back, but it absolutely floods back to us.
When I first got involved with the food ministry especially, it felt so good, I had to do a gut check.
Right,
So is this my ego, savior complex? Am I trying to
Right.
save the world and it makes me feel good because I'm the guy,
yeah.
And I looked at that long and hard, and that wasn't it.
It's not it.
It's a different kind of joy. It's a
It
different
is.
flavor.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
explain it.
Yeah,
Come do food with us.
yeah, come do food with us, it's great. People say, oh man, nobody's helping you with that farmer's market thing, you have to do it every week. I said, we don't have to do anything. We're choosing to do it every week. We'd love to have people come help, especially in the summer when there's lots of food to move. But we don't need it, and we're happy to do it. Michael, I don't wanna leave him out of that, he's there all the time too, so.
He helped me with yesterday's 2 cabbages and
Yeah.
8 sprigs of dill.
I know, the winter time, the farmers aren't used to having a winter market yet, so they didn't plant ahead for winter. But next year, they said, we'll have more of the winter things.
I had an experience to kind of speaking to what Chris is talking about. Mine didn't happen to be food related, but there was this gentleman out by Safeway playing the accordion
Uh-huh.
and providing nice sound in the world.
Yeah.
And I was inspired to put money in the box, and just the lighting up of his face, that somebody acknowledged him and what he was
Yes.
doing. It's that
Yeah.
acknowledgement of another.
Yes, absolutely.
Being seen.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Felt
being
seen.
seen.
Yes.
I had the being seen. We had the opportunity to go to dinner on Friday night at the
Good water crossing.
Goodwater Crossing, and how important it is for people to see each other.
Yes.
I noticed the kind of joy on one of the gentlemen's face that he was having an opportunity to interact with people outside of just his brother, who he is taking care of, who is blind and autistic, and giving him an opportunity of what we would call normalcy.
Right.
Yeah, and it was a very moving experience to be involved and recognize there are a lot of reasons why people are where they are.
Yes. So Mystic Heart is stepping up to take dinner the second Friday night of every month. And I'll lead that for a while to get it going, and I'll invite a couple of people. They're asking that we don't go in mass because people are just getting used to community. But a couple of people with Chris and I every month for a while, and then at some point, if people feel called to take lead on some of those, weeks, that would be great. It's not something I'm like hanging on to, I'm just getting it going. And this was our first month. We took a nice home-cooked dinner, and we sat down with the 3 residents that live there and the lady leading this project. And we just had a nice meal and conversation. And, yeah, it's, you look at people and you just know that they're just people. And there are many reasons that people have landed where they've landed. The gentleman she spoke of is 58 years old. His brother is 54?
52.
52?
Yeah.
So he is autistic, he's nonverbal, and he's blind. He's been taking care of this brother since the elder gentleman was 16 years old, and the brother would have been about 8. And they've been on the streets much of that time. So they're getting an opportunity now to be sheltered, in their words, to have a safe space to close my eyes at night so that I can get enough sleep, to have a clear head, to move in the direction of things like medical care, mental health care, all of that stuff. So we're already seeing results. There's a woman that found her place there in December, and she's on the list for a permanent housing apartment 2 months from now already. She's gotten her driver's license after 20 years without one. She's gotten a whole new set of teeth after losing her teeth. She is delighted, and she is such a light in the world. It's just such a perspective change. So I will be inviting folks to go with us each month, and if you have an interest in being a person to go, let me know as well. We're also doing the 4th Tuesday of every month for lunch. We're also bringing lunch and doing gardening activities there, which they're also very excited about. We're about to break ground on the sprinkler system and put in raised beds. Very exciting. And we had some salad at that dinner.
That's right.
Grown in a box by
Mhm.
the residents and picked and made. It was lovely. So what else we get is a deeper sense of gratitude for what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, it seems that what we have is so much more than enough. We have it's a relatively small house on a relatively small lot. It's nothing fancy, but boy, it's more than enough. It's more than enough.
I think if we could get to the point that having enough is our abundance.
Yes, yes. Having enough is abundance.
Yes.
I'm growing in the gratitude for the relative comfort of my life. I mean, I go to bed in a bed every night. I get up to a hot shower and a cup of coffee every morning. Wow. That is a miracle right there. I'm getting the benefit, as we said, of sensing any biases or prejudices I may have had, and actually they're gone in that direction. Those particular ones are gone at this point. I have no hesitation and no fear and no preset ideas about approaching an unhoused person at this time, no matter where I am. It's just gone. They're just a human being, another spark of the divine. I'm sorry, go ahead.
For me, the biggest change for me was about 3 years ago, Christmas, when April started the 12
Right,
Days of Kindness. And we went out to, there used to be a huge homeless camp at the end of Masonic off the lake there. And I was pretty nervous walking into that
first
camp.
trip out there was,
That first time.
it was a big camp.
And we had little gift bags with, snacks and mittens and socks and stuff in there, and a card,
Cookies from camp.
and it seemed like so little, but it meant a lot to the people that we gave them to. But like Chris was saying, what it seems was most appreciated was that they felt seen.
They were seen.
Yeah, because
People love,
in
all
our
of us want to be seen.
in our embarrassment and our shame for allowing the world to be the way it is, not that any of us are very complicit in that, but we kind of go into denial and we don't give eye contact,
Right.
and it's a shame because we are all one. We are all expressions of spirit.
Yes.
So I think that's probably where the seed was planted for
Right.
what we're doing with the micro shelter now.
I think so too. So, is it always, oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to make one more comment, because many of us, obviously, we pay our taxes.
Right.
And we believe that certain social services are doing the work we think they're doing. And we may discover that they're not set up for success as much as they're more set up for failure.
Right.
And we need to understand that and advocate for another way, a better way to
Yes.
serve in our social services.
Yes. And Goodwater, I hope it becomes a model,
I do too.
because it's just a beautiful way that they're going about it. It's a housing first model. They're not requiring people, they're not requiring anything other than being kind to one another, living there, and agreeing to certain rules, which are very basic rules. They're not requiring people to be clean first. They're not requiring anything. Housing first. Then you have a safe place to close your eyes and get some sleep. Then you begin to build trust and feel safety. And then at some point, you may decide for yourself that I want to make this change or that change, and then all the support is there around you to help that happen. So if that model could take off, does take off, and it is successful all over the planet right now, they have an 87% success rate in getting people from the street to permanent housing, like for life. 87% success.
It's pretty awesome.
It is.
I just wondered, is that the same community off of Shasta View?
Yes.
Behind the Lutheran Church? I
Uh-huh.
thought so.
Yeah, behind the St. James Lutheran Church.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
Yeah.
I never, still building it, but I
Yeah,
went by there.
yeah. So it's pretty cool. So do you think it's always comfortable? Chris touched on this. Is it always comfortable to step forward, the first step forward?
No.
No. It wasn't comfortable to approach the farmers the first time that I did it. to walk up to each booth with a business card and say, this is who we are and this is what we're doing, and it's just if there's anything you don't want to take back with you that would go to waste, we would be happy to take it to the mission. And we had a couple that took us on it right away, took us on that offer, took us up on that offer. But the rest of the folks were pretty, like, suspicious. Like, you're trying to get things for free. You're trying to, you know, there was this suspicion. I'm back every week, I'm like, here we go. All the people who are saying no, over and over and over again. Now, over time, almost no one says no to us. And everybody knows us now, and trusts us, and now thanks us for
Yeah.
taking what they consider their write-off or their waste and making good use of it at the mission. They thank us for hauling the bread out of their warehouse. She says, you know, we're not, as a business, again, laws prevent us from taking it to the mission. But if our garage door is open, and the shelves are right by the garage door, and someone comes in and takes that bread and we don't know where it went, what are we gonna say? That's from the
Creative.
heart. from the heart.
Creative
Yeah.
thinking.
Yes.
So yes, at the start, it's not comfortable. We have to be willing to step past that discomfort and put ourselves out there a little bit. Nothing's gonna change unless we can do that. To set the discomfort aside and just keep showing up. You think it was comfortable the first time I got up with a new church? I didn't have a clue what I was doing.
Well, you didn't
I'm
look
still
nervous.
learning. Good.
Yeah, you rocked it.
You gotta do it anyway, you know? And I put a note here. I remember going out to the camps too. I won't repeat the whole thing because Chris touched on that. But I was really, really glad that April was right there beside me. Because she's, you know, nothing's gonna mess with April, and she let us know. I'm on it, you know, if anything happens, I'm here. And I was glad.
And they took the kids too.
Yeah,
That-
yeah, they took the kids.
That spoke volumes.
Amanda, River, we all went out there. So what is it that takes the fear away in new situations?
Sometimes just exposure and doing it.
Exposure and doing it. That's actually the only thing I have ever found that really moves me through fear so that I can really let go of the fear. Is to feel the fear and do it anyway. And if you feel unsafe, do it with others.
That's, yes.
Yeah, do it with others, do it in a group. You know, go out and serve, take a meal, have a meal at the micro shelter where it's a safe environment. What is it that takes our biases and prejudices about people away?
Getting to know them.
Getting to know them. Taking the time.
Yeah. If you don't take the time to know them, you're
Right.
just gonna stay stuck where you're at.
Yeah, yeah.
Seeing them as God.
Seeing them as God. Seeing them, period. Looking in their eyes. All people, wherever you are, looking them in the eyes.
Getting to know their story and knowing it's not that different from yours.
Right. Getting to know their stories. And that would be here with each other or out in the community or whatever we're doing. Being willing to really hear other people and notice how their stories are very much the same as ours.
Well, I found from doing a lot of river walking,
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of homeless folks hang out by that area, that Sophie was the greatest ambassador of connecting the people that I had.
Yeah,
And that broke the ice right
Right.
there.
yeah.
And it was amazing to me what she brought together, you know, because it is just one-on-one, it's a little difficult to
Right.
start up a conversation, but the dog is the perfect thing in the
Yeah.
middle, you know.
Yeah. Nice, thank you.
I think for me, it's remembering that my judgments about other people are just stories I made up in my head. There's
Exactly.
they're not based in truth or
Yes.
fact. They're just some fantasy that I cooked up between
Right.
my ears.
Right. It's just all your perspective, it's all in your head.
So then it's the story, oh, I'm sorry.
Which one?
Cheryl first. and then Chris.
Which one? Yeah.
I was pointing at Cheryl first.
Well, not only listen to their story, even if it's repetitive, listen anyway.
Right.
I grew up with a lot of older people. They were always repetitive, as my husband is. Listen to them anyway. Don't get bored.
Right.
Sometimes something else will come into that story that they've forgotten.
Yeah.
And always listen to them,
Right.
even though it's just repetitive. It's good
Approach
to
it
do
with
that.
curiosity. What
Yes.
else? What else might come forward? Yeah.
All I was gonna add, I think it was what Chris said, is that our true separation that we feel is only because of our stories.
Right. It's all our stories. That's it. So I have a 4-minute video I'd like to share with you right here, and then we'll wrap up with some more conversation, if you don't mind. It's called No Arms, No Legs, No Worries.
We got a different, hang on.
Nope, not yet. That's the offertory.
It's not in there. Uh-oh. Okay, let me,
It didn't land. Oh no. You'll find it. It'll just be a moment.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves. All right. Let's see here. So this, I'm going to skip ahead to another, just swap a couple things. So this is the first Sunday of the Lenten season. And the Lenten season is a time for releasing what no longer serves us and embracing the newness, the change, the rebirth, the renewal. Embracing new stories. Letting go of old stories, embracing new stories. So would anyone like to share something that you are currently letting go of or releasing from your being or your consciousness?
Aggression.
Aggression. Nice.
Trying to be more peaceful in my approach before I approach.
I like that.
And I think that's how we share our peace. Even if we have something to say, get peaceful with inside with what is
Right.
before you speak, and finding that helpful.
Yeah. You can't put forth peace if you're not peaceful inside. Because what you are within comes out. David?
Non-judgment,
Okay, letting go of judgment. Yeah,
big one.
yeah. Letting go of judgment.
The same, but pretty much, but anger.
Letting go of anger. Yeah. Well, we can sure be triggered, right?
Oh, boy.
And that fast.
I think so.
Just that fast.
Yeah.
So feeling that
Just in case.
trigger happening and choosing to become peaceful.
It's quite a release.
It is, yeah.
Releasing that I have to always get my way the way I think it needs to be.
Releasing my need to get my way, the way it needs to be for me to be happy.
Releasing my idea that I'm right.
Oh,
That's
You mean-
a tough one.
you mean we would be better off if we let go of that one? Yes.
Extending friendship,
Extending friendship.
even to those that are very different
Mm-hmm.
from you are.
Even to those who are very different. Because aren't we all very different from each other? Yeah, we are.
I think it's like recently with politics and things
Yes.
like that, we invited someone to our home for dinner last night that was
Mhm.
very different than we are.
Uh-huh.
And they were very similar to us
Yes,
if we just let those differences just lie.
right. If you pay attention to the similarities
Yes.
rather than the differences,
Yes.
suddenly they fade into the background and they're not so important after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I have the go-ahead, so we'll pick this back up at the other side of the video.
I wasn't ready. I have no arms and no legs, but I'm very thankful that I have my little chicken drumstick here. People freak out when they see me for the first time. It's so cool. I was at a water slide all by myself. Everyone obviously at the bottom of the slide is looking up and waiting for other people to come down, and here I come and they're freaking out. They're like, you know, like this. And I was so tempted to look at myself and go, what happened? You know? And there were times where I sort of looked at my life and thinking, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. And you keep on concentrating on the things that you wish you had or the things that you wish you didn't have. And you sort of forget what you do have. And there's no point, I believe, in my life where I wish I had arms and legs, I wish I had arms and legs, I wish I had arms and legs, because wishing won't help. But what I've seen in life are just a couple key principles, and the first thing that I've seen is to be thankful. It's hard to be thankful, man. I tell you, when I was 8 years old, I sort of summed up my life and thought, I'm never going to get married, I'm not going to have a job, I'm not going to have a life of purpose. What kind of a husband am I going to be if I can't even hold my wife's hand? It's a lie to think that you're not good enough. It's a lie to think that you're not worth anything. Oh boy. Woo! It's freezing, I can't feel my hands. I love life. You know, so many people come and say, how come you smile so much? And I'm like, well, it's a long story. But it's very simple at the same time. You see, it's very hard to smile sometimes in life. There are things that happen that you don't know and you don't understand, and you don't know if you're going to get through it. You know, you go through your storms in life and you don't know how long this storm is going to be. And today I want to share with you some principles that I've learned in my life that you can use in yours. Being patient is beautiful. I tell you, it's the hardest thing. But I realized I may not have hands to hold my wife's hand, but when the time comes, I'll be able to hold her heart. I don't need hands to hold her heart. You know, it is scary to know how many girls have eating disorders. It is scary to know how many people are just angry at life because of their situation at home and angry at others. It's scary to know how many people actually feel like they're worth nothing. Every single girl right here, right now, I want you to know that you are beautiful. You are gorgeous just the way you are. And you boys, you're the man. On this DVD, I share my experiences in life of how I've overcome challenges and seen a new, fresh perspective in life. To be thankful, to dream big, and to never give up. I speak to children, youth, and adults about key issues and principles that I've applied in my life that has given me the strength to conquer all that comes before me.
What a blessing, huh?
Anybody want to share thoughts?
Wow, he's my role model.
Nothing's impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
With the right attitude.
with the right attitude.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Gratitude for what he does have.
For what he does have. Left me feeling not in a beat yourself up way at all, but in a serious, questioning way. When I hit roadblocks and let them throw me off, what's my excuse?
Yeah.
I mean, really. You know? I say that to myself with all seriousness. It's like, wow. Wow.
But he made a choice.
He made a choice.
He made a choice to live his life and be happy.
Yes. And in another video I watched, I was weighing out which one might be better for today, of the short ones I could find. They showed pictures of he and his wife. He is married, happily. She's beautiful. They look very happy, at least in the shots that they put up there.
The one thing that got me from that other video was, I didn't hear it in this one, but she said, there are times when my wife doesn't need a good provider as much as she needs a good man.
Right. Yeah.
A good human being as a partner.
A good human being with a good heart.
Yeah.
That's what's important. So that man's life has a purpose.
Yes.
Yours may not look like his, it's not supposed to. Yours is supposed to look like yours. But your purpose, your gifts, your talents, and your inspiration provide something to others. And those things that are yours are uniquely yours.
He's something to think about every time I want to say I can't.
Every time I want to say I can't, let that come to your mind.
Mm-hmm.
For me, every time poor me goes through my head,
Mm-hmm. True.
maybe I could think again about that.
Oh, no, just scratching.
Stretching? Okay.
Sorry.
So, we are here to love. We are here to serve. That's what we're doing here. Is there something, and you can either answer this out loud or just take it for contemplation, is there something that's holding you back from showing up in a bigger way? You gonna take that home for contemplation?
I would say the answer is almost certainly yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we'll come back, we'll sandwich where we were, and anything else that anyone's releasing right now. Letting go of, writing a new story. And if we made it through all of those things, let's extend it to what are you embracing? What are the changes that you're writing into your story that you're embracing?
Writing a story.
Writing a story. Okay, like consciously.
Well, I've had all these stories that have been stacking up, and I've got notes upon notes upon notes. Maybe it's time, maybe it's time to actually write a work of fiction and put it out there.
Wow, good for you. Witnessed.
By
Did I
many.
say that out loud?
Right. Anything else? Anybody's embracing a change, a new way of being, something new to do or try? Way of engaging with the world differently?
I'm taking your classes.
Ooh, she's taking emotional intelligence, and now she's in the shadow and story work class with Cherie and a couple of other ladies. Deep work.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We're coming.
I am having a new perspective on biblical parables
A new perspective.
and recognizing that those parables were meant to challenge the status quo.
Right, change in perspective about our biblical teachings, our biblical stories, and specifically parables as challenge stories, meant to spark us to change.
Letting go of all my preconceived notions
Letting go of
of
preconceived.
the Bible stories and,
Of-
and
Right.
it's
All
like mind blown.
All the things I thought I knew.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that one's.
Man, oh man, you can say that in any area of life.
And
right?
I think how much it's in our background operating
Yes,
and in our culture, operating in our culture, that we are not even aware of
Right.
where that came from.
yeah. Yeah, we're immersed in it, we're marinated in it. It's
Mhm.
just runs throughout our culture in all kinds of ways.
It's a time to rinse off.
Yes.
Rinse off. Yes, Chris.
Well, I'm embracing our music again. We've, since most of our microphones and such moved down here, our music studio has become kind of a storage room. But over the weekend, I set up my drums and I'm getting it back together in the studio format. And so that's what I'm embracing this season.
All right, yay.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. Anything else you're embracing or welcoming right now before we pray our way to lunch?
What I've been doing lately is listen while I'm on my walk. Many times it's silence, but I'm listening to my 60s and 70s music. And the one that struck me, I knew what it meant many years ago. Ecclesiastes 3, turn, turn, turn.
Yeah.
Yes.
I listen to that every day now. And Peter, Paul, and Mary, the story they told. So I've been listening to a lot of that, and it keeps me calm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because they're
It's
familiar.
amazing They were thinking biblical back then, in
Right.
their music.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that
Yeah.
until I got older. Except I knew of turn, turn, turn.
Right.
Because I studied the Bible back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard that song, I'm like, so I went back to Ecclesiastes and I found it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Well, becoming an active voice for change.
Okay,
and
becoming an active
instead
voice
of,
for change.
just passive, more active,
Mm-hmm.
because that just feels like the energy that's happening right
Yeah.
now.
Thank you. Oh, to follow up on last week, I did email John Pavlovitz's email address, and his wife responded to me and said, send your reply that you want to send to this message, and I'll make sure John gets it.
Oh, wow.
So I did that.
Good for you.
I
Thank
haven't
you.
heard back yet. I don't know, today I haven't checked my email, but, so I did follow up on that and I did send it off. And I'm gonna post that in our Love Soaked World on our Facebook page and, on our, maybe on our website.
Yeah.
Start, there are ways to speak for positive change without negativity,
Right.
without fear, without swearing. It drives me crazy that he uses so much profanity when he could be just as clear and pointed without it. It cheapens the message, for me, it cheapens the message.
He's still angry.
He is angry, yeah, and that's sad, but I support him, and I started out with that. I support your work, I share your work with people, I encourage them to look at it, and I very much respect the work that you're doing in the world. That said, here's what happened, so. Anything else that wants to be spoken right now?
Yes.
Yes.
I think today you did exactly by talking about what you talked about in your message in this conscious conversation. You found a way to bring in ways to approach what is going on without identifying any specific thing. So you are doing that work from the pulpit, if you will.
That's nice. Thank you.
It is true.
It's never my intention to hide from issues at all. Only my intention to do what I do from love, without anger and without fear.
Act instead of react.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's close in prayer, shall we? Take a deep breath in, feeling my lungs with life-giving oxygen. Holding it up just a little bit, making the presence itself known in the breath. And then breathing out, letting go of all that is not peaceful, that is not peace, that is not presence. Sensing and knowing the powerful love of the One. Allowing it to fill my body, my mind, my soul, my spirit with its presence. Knowing that in truth I am never separate from it, from him, from her, from them. As it lives its life as me, I live my life within the One. There's no place where I end and spirit begins. I move into this week grounded in the divine qualities that are my nature: peace, power, wholeness, radiance, joy, beauty, freedom. And let's not forget love. Pure, unconditional, agape love. I begin each day remembering the two great commandments. Love God before all else, and love your neighbor as yourself. And then even more challenging, to love my enemies, to bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for those who despitefully use you and persecute you. Everyone is my neighbor. In truth, I have no enemies, only teachers. I'm grateful for my growing awareness, for my willingness to continue to grow and change. I welcome new opportunities and new teachers for the gifts that they are. And I set aside my discomfort and attachments. I allow Spirit to clean the lenses of my biases as I seek to awaken to the truth of our oneness with each other and our oneness with God. I'm grateful for each person sharing this time with me, for the gifts that each one brings into my life. I'm grateful for the simple pleasures and comforts that grace my life. I welcome and appreciate them as they appear, and then gently release them into the flow of life. And I'm so grateful to share in authentic, loving community with these beautiful souls, y'all out there. I'm so blessed. Feeling complete in my word, here and now. I release it, knowing that a prayer spoken in faith and deeply felt is a prayer answered. And so I rest now, allowing it to simply be. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. So feel free to remind yourself who you're about to have lunch with. And I invite you to join in the celebration of the work that we're doing in the world by sharing of your financial good, should you choose to. If you're at home, you can go to mysticheart.org and you'll find a donate button and you'll find a mailing address. And as we do that today, I'm going to bring in one of my favorites to share with you, another song called Love Will Find a Way. It's amazing how many songs there are called Love is the Answer, Love is Still the Answer, Love Will Find a Way. But this one is by St. Michael Franti. So enjoy. Love will find a way.
Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. This is a song for all kinds of people, all of the cities and all of the streets, yo. The synagogue and the mosque and the steeple, the bad, ugly, the good and the evil. Some shoot bullets and some shoot needles. Some are trying to get by with illegals, getting trapped behind the concrete walls. Some are trying just to get equal. Could you ever give more today? Could you give a little to help love find a way? And when you're feeling like you can't go on, love will find a way. And through the clouds and smoke and guns and bombs, love will find a way. And when the whole world falls on their knees to pray that love will win today, just keep holding on, cause love will find a way. Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. Yo, nobody's born hating another person. A mad world puts that poison in us. But if we can learn to hate another person, then we can learn to love a brother or sister, another mother or mister. Don't be part of the system, join the universal nation. Communication in every nation, worldwide. Could you ever give more today? Could you give a little to help love find a way? And when you're feeling like you can't go on, love will find a way. And through the clouds and smoke and guns and bombs, love will find a way. And when the whole world falls on their knees to pray that love will win today, just keep holding on, cause love will find a way. Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. Till I'm gone away, this is what I'll say, this is what I'll say. Till I'm gone away, till I'm gone away, till I'm gone away, till I'm gone away. Every man, woman and child, this is what I'll say. Till I'm gone away, every color, every nation, every style, this is what I'll say. To create, to liberate, and to celebrate, not to hate. This is what I'll say. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all.
I love that guy. His concerts are a love fest. If you get a chance to see him, do it.
Going to be in Oregon in the end of August at a reggae festival.
And we'll be there.
And we'll be there.
But he will ask you questions. How you feeling? I think I just overdrove the video. But love will find a way, and love does find a way. Love finds a way through each of us interpersonally, and love finds a way to make this world a better place. So we thank you for your gifts. We know they originate from Source, from Spirit, from God. And we acknowledge that you chose to let them travel here through your hands and through your pockets. So we just say thank you, God. Thank you to each one here. We pledge to steward these gifts wisely. And again, thank you. Amen. All right. We have stuff happening. Our regular weekly stuff. Mystic Heart Book Club meets every Tuesday from 3 to 5. We're still reading Conversations with God, Book 3. Fast Track to Wellness meets every Thursday from noon to 2. And they made a terrific lunch last Thursday. And we'll do that, that's first Sunday of every month, generally speaking. First Thursday. Yes, first Thursday of every month. Every Sunday we have lunch. That's right. Metaphysical Bibles meets Thursday from 3 to 5, and we're about 2/3 of the way through the Gospel of Thomas. And we're going to be looking at the Gospel of Mary Magdalene our next unit, as soon as we get through with the last 40 logions in Thomas. This Friday, St. Patty's Day dinner and dance party, and from 6 to 9 with I almost said Tommy Johnson, whose real name is John Thompson. And we have 3 tickets left? 2 tickets left. So if you've been on the fence, it's time to jump off. That's $30 a person for a full course corned beef and cabbage dinner and party. April's offering a spring medicine wheel workshop. It's her second lap around the sacred hoop. And if you're not familiar with the medicine wheel from indigenous American cultures, it's a very deep and rich tradition. Suggested donation is $20 for that, and please let April or
March bulletin.
Huh?
In the March bulletin.
Oh, okay. Well,
We always catch it. Eventually.
just in case the February bulletin's still on your fridge at home. So, and on Saturday, April 12th from 12 to 3 p.m., join Lucinda Alton, Chris Netto, and Reverend Diana for this fantastical fundraising celebration of spring. Homemade soup, salad, bread, and dessert will be served. Dalton Fitzgerald will be offering a mini concert. Come tell us about this.
Well, I would also add that Lucinda is involved with this spring fling.
He said Lucinda.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
But if anybody's interested in donating a basket for our raffle, we could use that. And this is one of our bigger fundraisers, and we'd like as many people to participate with time, talent, and or treasure. Show up, whatever you can do to make this a nice event for all of us.
All right. Be raffling off Easter baskets, and you're invited to dress up in whatever springtime attire you choose, even costumes based on the fantasy theme. So, fairies welcome. More website available in our March bulletin, back there on the credenza in the foyer, and we invite you to fill out information card if you're not on our mailing list already. And I am available after service to pray with you if anything got shaken loose today, or if you just want to celebrate your being a spiritual being. We can reinforce that too. So, how about another love song?
Another love song. Here we go. Sing you on your way to lunch. Brunch. All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we